Call to order at 7:01. Our first order of business will be roll call. President Bartwash. Vice President Vera. Present. Director of Administrative Affairs Agat. Director of Financial Affairs Salim.
Present.
Director of Government and Legal Affairs Dorothy.
Present.
Director of Human Relations Fox.
Here.
Director of Foreign Outreach Upmore.
Present.
Director of Technology and Web Development Jordan.
Present.
Director of Organization and Partnership Board Hoagley. Vice Chair Janet Sturgeon.
Present.
Senator Wong.
Present.
Senator Weissmuller.
Present.
Senator Erickson.
Present.
Senator Carter.
Present.
Senator Payne.
Present.
Senator Henderson.
Present.
Ex officio Ramirez.
Present.
Our next order of business will be the approval of the agenda. I entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented. Senator Carter.
Move to approve the agenda as presented.
Is there a second? Senator Wong. All in favor, raise your right hand. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The agenda is approved as presented. I now entertain a motion to approve the previous meeting minutes. Senator Carter.
Move to approve the previous meeting minutes.
Is there a second? Senator Henderson. All in favor, raise your right hand. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The previous meeting minutes are approved as presented. I now yield the floor to Santiago Ochoa and Mackenzie Stroger from the Michigan Times.
Okay, we'll try to pick a spot where it's not really toxic anyone out of the conversation. So I guess we'll start off. Our most recent issue is actually just in and out on Monday. Sorry, this week has been crazy. Again, privilege.
First of all, thank you for anybody out here that made it to our launch party on Monday, and we hope you enjoyed the food. Hopefully, if you guys haven't read our print issue already, which also came on Monday, you get a chance to do it now. We wanted to come to this meeting in particular because we feel the topics covered here, really everything are of like real student interest, right? From talking about the University Tower building, which is remained closed since its purchase in 2016, to the One University Coalition, and where it stands after its creation. So hopefully everyone can take a read, and it gives you a wider perspective of what's going on campus.
For sure. So again, touching on what Santiago said, you'll see right here on our first page, the table of contents, all the issues that we covered. University Tower building. We also did a student spotlight on Santino Guerra as he's running for a house position. We also covered a professor doing cancer research. Well, a 1U update chemistry club, a full green project from the Entrepreneur Society, as well as the Mount Culinary Arts program. So for our print issues, we try to make sure we cover at least have one student spotlight. We at least have one piece regarding community and downtown development. We have one piece that focuses on a club, and then also one hurricane piece regarding university politics or what's going on in that arena, as well as a solid piece on campus development as well, which is where we get our piece. So again, as Santiago was saying, it was really thanks for the invite to come talk at today's meeting. But as you guys can see, these are again really hard-hitting issues for students on campus. And I think we also kind of have some questions for student government as far as what you guys have planned kind of to react to some of these things. Because again, these are really solid issues that are affecting students. I mean, even from, we have complaints all the time, right, that the nursing program needs more room in the white building, yet we have an empty building that, as we can see from the story, isn't getting the funding it needs. There was a little questioning on why it was bought, and if it should have been purchased. And I guess we would just really too love to hear what student government is doing, in regards to some of these stories, the feedback that you have as well for M-Times, as far as what other stories would you like to see, and what specific comments do you have for some of these pieces? Because we'd love to make sure we're working together, that all the issues on campus are being covered. So, anyone?
I would like to add, we understand that you are not responsible for the purchase of the building 4 years ago.
For sure.
We're not putting that
Yeah,
on
for
your
sure,
shoulders.
for sure.
But, it's really our hope is that, topics like this hopefully bring about, new thoughts and new perspectives, like I said earlier.
I mean, the thing we're really aiming for with our newspaper, and something we've really been trying to build up to is making sure that some of these, that whenever we hear concerns from a student, we have a small staff, we might not be able to write about every issue, but we're at least trying to make sure things are covered on social media, or even just sending a writer to some of the events. As you can see, Will has been a dedicated patron of student government meetings for a while, and again, we're just wanting to make sure that if there's anything too we can do to help kind of I would say both of our goals, making sure students are getting a transparent campus experience, that we can help and we can do that kind of together. Again, making sure everything students care about, that they should know about, that they might not. It's being covered, both in the and out of movement, but right, like, we have UTV, people aren't always happy about it, making sure that gets covered, as well as the YU coalition, right, because they're doing, their plans are necessary for making that, as you can see, just right off the bat from the cover, and making sure we're doing everything in an unbiased way to accurately report on every issue we possibly can, as well as too, some of the good things that are happening that Newcomb doesn't necessarily get the credit for that it probably deserves, right? Like with the Jerry Sanders, or Professor Jerry Sanders piece regarding the cancer research.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, is there anything else you want us to touch on, or is that?
I just wanted to say that first of all, thank you so much for coming here. Just kind of responding to your question, especially things like University Tower. We were in touch with the Vice Chancellor of Finance, and I do know that most of these issues are relating to state appropriations and the money not coming in from the government. And I think highlighting these pieces are really important because as student government, we're trying to raise the concerns to administration, and we are the bridge between the students and administration. But I think even for our platform this year, which has one of the most important topics are the accountability and transparency, I think collaboration between student government as well as the Michigan Times or school newspaper and all fair means is very important to highlight some issues like that. And I think we can definitely work together on this. And if there are, and please also provide us feedback, whether it's good or bad, so that we are held accountable as elected members as well. Thank you so much for coming. This is awesome, and congratulations.
Thank you.
And next order of business will be director reports. President Barlow.
Hello, everybody. So we member of delegations, a delegation from student government at the University of Michigan-Flint represented with efforts of Director Upmore at the United Students Government Conference at SVSU. We were hoping to see further more collaboration with student governments across the state, and I'm sure Director Upmore will have more to speak about it. Talking about the e-scooters update that we're trying to launch an initiative on campus. I had a meeting with Director of Public Safety, Director of Recreation Center, as well as Director of Facilities and Operations, which resulted in lots of feedback and concerns. It was indicated that we will need an official proposal from the company. If you've seen, the company is already active, most probably not active during the winter. And they will be coming back with this during the uh, most likely spring or summer. But we are focusing more on this company so that we can have an investment within Flint, within a Flint-owned business, and on campus, students as well as community members can make the best use of this micromobility transportation system. Um, I will also be drafting a proposal and working on a few agreements with the director of facilities. The company is looking for potentially installing charging hubs on campus, which will increase the frequency of these units. But this is still in the work and keep everybody updated on that. I will be by next week presenting the Board of Regents report. If any initiatives or potential concerns need reflections, please let me know so they can be the part of the report itself. Um, we are looking to have a potential collaboration with the library as well. Last year, we were not part of the BYOB that library does every year with bring your own books. Um, they are looking at extended library hours. They've also expressed concern that since fall 2015, the attendance in library, especially during these extended hours, has not been great and it has reduced. After 2 o'clock at night, they've seen maximum of 30 students on the entire library. And with that, it's raising concerns if they really need to push forward for the 90-hour library as it's a lot of time consuming for many personnel who are working there as well as student workers. We're possibly also looking to help with the late night breakfast. I have asked the library to maybe send us more details so we can help with the advertising efforts and involve other student organizations as well. And with that, I yield.
In terms of my report, I've been working closely. We're trying to speak to Kettering and Mod about a potential coalition in which we would speak about issues that are in Flint and work together to help Flint improve and just become a better place. I have also been working with Senator Henderson on contacting Picasso about us tabling, potentially collaborating with them about like providing food for like food and stuff as we table. And I've also been working close with this senator to keep up with their caucuses and just make sure that they're staying on track and getting stuff done. Um, and with that, I yield. Director of Administrative Affairs.
Hello everyone. So the three giveaways for student government have been ordered and will be arriving soon. The reservation has been made for the constitution referendum, and we will be announcing the date sometime soon. Um, I'll be looking into the policy for office hours and time of voting, and probably will be tabling it and making it into a resolution. Um, the University of Michigan-Flint women's basketball team had their first game this Saturday against Washtenaw Community College, and we won both the games. It was with a good margin. This Friday, we will be having the Bali night, and I hope everyone comes. It's 6 to 9:30 in North Bank Center, so I hope to see everyone there. The meeting minutes have been approved, for, and will be sent out in the next with that.
Director of Government and Legal Affairs Early.
Hi everyone. Alright, so those of you who don't know, as to the new constitution is going to we're drafting a new constitution. It was just sent to Ann Arbor for legal review and will be released to the student body on campus in the next coming weeks. We have open forums for learning more about this process and school-wide student vote that will be coming up on Monday, November 25th, as well as Wednesday, December 4th. Times for those will be posted in the flyers as is. Going off of that, I'm working with Director Jory on a listening campaign for the upcoming constitutional referendum and open forums that we're hosting, as well as tabling around campus to spread the word. Let's see, yeah, so the Government and Legal Affairs Committee met on the 11th, and we finalized a review of the draft and working days for open forums and table meetings. We also drafted Senate Bill 2019-004, which we're going to present tonight. And I have continued to work on a presentation for open forum to inform students and anyone who shows up about what we've been doing. I also attended the United Student Governments in Michigan conference and a lot of different sessions and met with a lot of different student government representatives from around the state. And finally, I'd like to congratulate Director Cooper and her committee for passing the Students Coalition for Higher Education Funding resolution at their conference. Great job on that. And with that, I yield.
Director of Financial Affairs, Celine.
Hello everyone. So the budget sheet's been updated and I'm planning on doing monthly reports at the end of every month so that everyone knows exactly where our budget stands. I also want to work on the website with Director Jury so that we can make public the budget sheet for the end of every month. Aside from that, DSOs that have been given money to the funding board, there's going to be an audit process starting in the coming weeks, just to ensure that the money's been used for what it was taken, and it's been used within the guidelines of the funding board charter. Also, the funding board is looking for members at large and also student government members. So if you're interested, or if anyone you know is interested, please have to reach out to me or fill out the form on Engage. The American Society for Mechanical Engineers was also allocated $2,300 by the funding board last week. And with that,
Director of Student Relations, Paul.
Hello, everybody. Right now, I'm currently communicating with Chief of DPS Raymond Hall to see if the university can repurpose the MTA bus signs that are on campus for safe ride, as well as implement new signage to let students know where they can be picked up and dropped off. This is a big concern represented by my Student Relations Committee, which I'll be giving a report for during committee report time. And I'm also trying to communicate with Hall Council on a collaboration event for either a volunteer event for Eastern Michigan Food Bank to help combat food insecurity on campus, which is one of the campaigns of our administration. And I chaired the Student Relations Committee last Tuesday, November 5th. Drafted and distributed meeting minutes of the meeting, as well as I represented the SG at the Student Concerns Committee with faculty and administrators on this past Friday, November 8th. That way,
Director of Board Outreach,
Good evening, everyone. All right, so I attended the Student Governance Conference in Saginaw Valley this past weekend. The meeting we had on Friday went really well. And the conference itself on Saturday was a huge success. New relationships with other student governments were formed, and the relationships that we already had were strengthened, which was amazing. Director Crowley and Director Celine both co-chaired sessions, and we got a lot of compliments on them as well as our entire delegation. So I'm really proud of everyone that went and represented University of Michigan-Flint. The higher education funding resolution that was co-written by UM-Flint and Grand Valley was passed at the United Legislative Session with 12 yea votes, 1 nay vote, and then 1 abstention. And that resolution establishes the Student Coalition for Higher Education Funding. And until the election of an official chair for that coalition, I will be co-chairing with Joel Pagel from Grand Valley in the interim process. And then in addition to that, I will also be writing governing documents for that coalition with Joel Pagel from Grand Valley and then Hunter Cook from SVSU. And then a survey was created on behalf of the interim co-chairs for the Student Coalition for Higher Education Funding and was sent out to all student government presidents. And we have gotten 2 responses from that, Northern Michigan and University of Michigan Dearborn. And then the card is going to be in the office for everyone that attended the conference to sign for Abigail Smith, who's the parliamentarian at Saginaw Valley. She did a really great job putting that conference together. We want to just show her that you is really grateful for all the work that she did. I'll be meeting with Mia McNeil, the university's lobbyist, on November 18th. And I will also be attending other student government meetings to continue to build those relationships with the universities. I will be attending Saginaw Valley's, CMU's, and Eastern's before we go to Christmas break. And then lastly, the Census Bureau is going to be hiring student workers. They'll be tabling in the USEN, and when I get those dates, I will forward that to you.
Director of Technology and Web Development Authority.
So this last week, I've been able to upload 3 caucuses so far, including Senator Wong, Senator Sturgeon, or Vice Chair Senator Sturgeon, and Senator Erickson's caucus. Also, all members' profiles are on our website now. We recently added a member, and so everybody's contact info is on there. And I'm planning on involving what senators are working on what caucus and stuff. So if you're ever interested in a caucus or anything, I want to make it easier to get in contact with them if anybody wants to collaborate or ask questions about it and see how we can improve just communication in that aspect. I've also made a flyer and spread information about Senator Wong's stress management event she's hosting. She's having 2 events, November 19th and 20th. The information is on her website, and it's on Facebook if anybody's interested in that. I also talked to ITS about some technical difficulties I've had trying to live stream our meetings, and it looks like that's going to be hard to sort out. So I'm looking into potentially purchasing a laptop for student government to have consistent video streaming. I've had a time where I wasn't able to do it because of our equipment. I've also updated our committee page with any meeting minutes, meeting times, anything directors have given me. That's all updated as of today. I originally had a meeting with Lindsay Knake from communications, but we actually ended up rescheduling to November 15th. So I'll have a meeting with her then. And after this meeting today, I'm having a meeting with Director Rowley regarding the new constitution, how we can spread awareness about it, and just get the information out there for everybody. And finally, if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, interested in joining student government, we do have positions open. And our email is flint.sil.sg@mich.edu. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to email us and we can answer. And with that, I yield.
Director, Student Organization Partnership Board.
Hello, everyone. So, software member applications are available online and they're open to all students. The link to apply is in the links. I met with Chris Willis to discuss the SIL aspect of approving the new DSOs. 2 of the 3 met all the criteria and are moving on to the next step. The last organization was reached out to and all concerns are being resolved. Presidents of SSOs were emailed to remind them that they do have ex officio seats on student government to participate in our conversations regarding the university. Several of them have already gotten back to me and seem very excited about the opportunity. DSOs will also be emailed to remind them of the benefits that being registered with student government offers, and if they are interested in having a representative from student government attend their meetings. Lastly, I have been in discussion with housing regarding the collaboration for late night breakfast, and we will be setting up a meeting later this week to discuss it.
Thank you. Vice Chair Senate Sturgeon.
Okay, awesome. I don't have much since I took a week off last week, but this weekend I did attend the United States Government Conference with Director Upmore, since I am on her Foreign Outreach Committee. We learned a lot. We connected with a lot of other student government. They're members at different institutions, and those collaborations in the future are going to be really beneficial to us. We brought a lot back here information-wise and got a variety of different ideas to implement both in Senate and throughout our campus. Another thing I started working on is I started working a vice chair of Senate folder so that the next vice chair will have a smoother transition and a simple set of guidelines, just what I've learned from the past vice chair, all written down for that transition. And I plan to continue working on that. And with that,
Thank you. We will now be moving on to advisement.
So I had the opportunity to provide the last set of feedback to the Constitution this afternoon. There are 2 items I think that need to go back to GLA for discussion, but we did forward it to Ann Arbor for their feedback, and we hope to have that back next week. There's no rest for GLA, so next week Director Broly and I will need to start our plan how we will attack USC now that the Constitution is in its final steps. That means that starting in January, directors will start on funding board charter revisions, and in January we will present election Speaking of election commission, we have started recruitment for election commissioners. For those of you that don't know, the student government election is run by an independent body, which is the election commission. And so I've begun recruitment for election commissioners. Once those are all selected, they will be brought to this meeting for final vote by the Senate so that they can begin their work. And to be qualified to be an election commissioner, you have to be completely neutral and not involved in student government. With that, I yield.
Thank you. We will now be moving on to candidate reports. Senator Wong.
Hello, everyone. This past week, I worked with Director Doherty on advertising my conference event and starting my workshop. I attended the graduate board meeting on November 11th. I've also been around campus asking students about any concerns they had and asking if they have any suggestions on how to fix said problems. I attended the United City Government Conference at SPSU. Heard some great ideas from other colleges and figuring out ways to implement them on our campus. What I am planning to do next week, attend both of my first and workshop in my caucus. One is on November 19th from 10 to 11 a.m. in Michigan-Flint. The other one is on November 20th from 2 to 3 p.m. in Michigan-Flint. I also plan on attending student relations committee meeting and attend funding board meeting. And with that, I yield.
Thank you. Senator Weissmuller.
Good evening, everybody. This week I officially joined the SOP board. My application is due. I also attended donors meetings on Monday and followed up with the launch party for Michigan Times as well. And this week, already happened with the posting report, I had an interview with the Michigan Times. And with that, I yield.
Thank you. Senator Erickson.
Good evening, everyone. So, throughout the week, I have continued to work on my caucus, which is pertaining to implementing recurring weekend events for residents in partnership with organizations on campus. And I have contacted housing in regards to that and waiting to hear back from them. Last Monday, I attended the GLA committee meeting, and I have officially joined the SOP.
Thank you. Senator Carter.
This weekend of my most of them in the United States conference, I put that nothing I know about. So it's a bit of that class. That's what we I met with Beth Manning from HR to discuss my labor rights event. We went over several ideas, which we could take, and eventually I just decided that it would consist of a panel of 4 to 5 presenters who would each cover a specific topic of labor rights. They'd give a short presentation and answer some questions about them. And some of the topics that I have when discovering the right to work law in Michigan, how it affects workplaces, the role of unions, Title 9, and the rights of workers. Thank
you. Senator King.
Good evening, everyone. What I planned to do this week was to meet with SG members to come up with speakers at the high school to my caucus. I achieved that. I talked to several SG members about speaking. I was psyched about it. I talked to Nicole in the missions to finalize dates when she can attend. And this week, next week, I plan on have an agenda of talking points that we can go out and talking points to students and have a Q&A with that.
Senator Henderson.
Hello, everyone. So last weekend, I did attend the SBSU conference. Amazing experience. Learned so many things. I want to congratulate up north for your outstanding report. I did have a wonderful meeting with Lori about my financial aid. Financial aid caucus, and we were brainstorming some ideas, and we are looking for 5 students to test out new information about financial aid to students. So if anyone is interested, just please let me know. And I have started working with Vice President O'Meara on the possible collaboration concept. Next week, I plan to continue collaboration with Conzo and continue working on the affordability guide that was presented
back.
Ex-officio mayor.
Hello, everybody. So, this Monday, we had an e-board meeting for Hong Kong Slow, and we voted on approving Thanksgiving. We deliberated and decided to not have it during the break, have it the Monday before, tentatively be November 25th. Time to be announced. Jeff has a meeting with the council tomorrow, and we're operating up a budget between $900,000 to purchase the Picasso. As well as that, we also talked about a door decorating contest for the holidays. So there'd be a prize. We're talking about a $50 per person door prize for the winner, and there'd be a most likely a prize for each dorm. So one winner per street and one winner from River Park. As well, we're going to have a general body meeting this Monday, 7:30 p.m. at First Street at the multi-purpose room. We're going to discuss the changes in the constitution we've had, and we're going to have a vote to see if the constitution should do it as we change it. As well, Hall Council allocated $600 for the late night breakfast as well. We're going to help out. And today we have 2 Hall Council members today on the e-board who are attending to see how some government operates and here. And just have a stronger bond between all councils. And we've got a
We will now be moving on to director committee reports. I now open the floor to any director committee reports. Director Cox.
So, for the Student Concerns Committee, we did one thing all the time. We reviewed and provided feedback on the student code of conduct with Dr. Snyder. I think I just go to another committee report. For the Student Relations Committee, we talked about a lot of issues that were brought up between a lot of students. We further discussed concerns regarding safe ride. A big issue is that apparently people try to steal people's safe rides, as in because drivers need to be aware of who they're picking up. Because there's cases where they'll be called and they'll arrive in the city and they won't check to see which student tried to actually make the call, and they'll just let anyone who walked in get in the car. And there's been a couple cases brought to me where that's been the case, where students try to steal other students' rides. In general, 2 new representatives were also introduced to the committee. Nathan was even a sophomore, and Ray Gillian, another junior. So, going strong. In terms of, we also addressed the idea of communicating with students, that there's a major lack of incentive to attend university events and lower turnouts as the years have gone by. In the past, we discovered that some extremely effective methods were to offer extra credit for participating in university events, and I'll be presenting the idea of the next Student Concerns Committee, which has the Vice Chancellor and some other department deans, which may want to hear this information, to see how they're going to figure out how to get students to be more engaging in other school-sponsored events. Furthermore, we discussed the idea of a shuttle to Ann Arbor, whether it be a weekly or daily basis. And there's a mixed opinion on interest for shuttles between campuses, but we ended up coming down to the idea that it might be good to have a seasonal shuttle that would be transporting students over the week, every week during the football season. That's really when people want to go to Ann Arbor. Furthermore, we also discussed smoking on campus, which I learned quite a lot about this. Vaping is actually allowed by our policy, as it's not considered harmful. But those who want to see people smoking on campus in McKenna Plaza or within the buildings, you need to be filing an incident report. And when you do that, you need to be giving the name of the student, where they were, and what they were smoking. Or not, where and who they are. Because it's extremely difficult to find out who these people are and discipline them. This DPS is actually not allowed to discipline these guys by regional authority for some reason. So it's up to the campus, as well as you as a student can take that role on, but I don't want to see people smacking cigarettes on people's hands. So you better just file an incident report. Lastly, food options on campus. It's always a big concern about food. Hopefully this will be assuaged. This Jilly's Pizza is going to be replaced, I believe, within a year by a chain restaurant that serves, I think, smoked meat. So I'm interested in that. And if there's any further concerns about that, we'll see how we can work on that. There's a lot of people also thinking about getting Picasso to have more food options. Other than that, next committee meeting, we'll be having a guest speaker from Commute to come in and talk to us about how students feel about these Commute scooters and what we want to see them implemented further on. And that again.
Are there any other director committee reports? The floor is now closed for director committee reports. I now open the floor for university committee reports. Are there any university committee reports?
The Academic Affairs Advisory Committee met today. Um, Most of our concern has been the charge that has been given by the Faculty Governing Council regarding the course evaluations and how the course evaluations are being or not being used. Potentially, major concerns. Many of the committee members have reached out to students and have their feedback. And a common concern was that the evaluations are not taken into consideration, and students feel that the faculty or professors don't really make a difference by having them fill out those evaluations. Um, with that, provost and certain many other deans are wanting to get involved with department chairs and how they can streamline this process and have a clear guideline on how these evaluations are used for professors, for evaluation of faculty. Um, we also have a guest speaker who would be coming, Heather Lobby, uh, who would be coming next meeting to talk about the bias trainings as well as trainings for evaluations. Those are conducted through the Ann Arbor Office of Education, and most of these concerns tie into the retention and recruitment of students as if students are feeling that many of these evaluations are not taken into consideration, there is no other alternative. Nick Gasper from Office of Extended Learning also attended the committee meeting and shared that these evaluations have different trends. Many times students are filling these evaluations if there are incentives being given, but having incentives to fill out evaluations as per especially extra credits is not the best way. And rather the faculty should have a direct conversation with the students for the importance of these evaluations and also tell the students how faculty themselves are going to improve next semester on receiving the feedback. Um, we also had Shelby Newport, Associate Provost, who had discussion with the committee regarding changes in the international education and the vision of international education as a whole at the University of Michigan-Flint. We talked about different exchanges from countries, as well as she informed the committee regarding different inbound and outbound students who come to University of Michigan-Flint or from University of Michigan-Flint go to different countries. With that, I yield.
Are there any other university committees? Senator Walker.
Graduate board meeting that in 2011, could not vote on anything that did not have to bad weather, a lot of faculty had to early production and along that nature. So during that time, we just reviewed, tuitions from programs that, are making all that nature. So things that we can go down and see.
Are there any other reports? As there are no other reports for non-closed university committees. Next order of business will be old business. I now use the floor to Senator Wong to present Senate Bill 2019-043.
Hi everyone, just a recap on the bill, it is to provide food and drinks for my upcoming Surf Banquet workshop. I am asking for a total of $150. Whatever money I do not use will be going back into the grant.
Are there any questions, comments, or concerns for our audience or members? That's your question.
Since the workshop is being divided into 2 days, is that 150 per day or
Total, so $75 for each day.
Are there any other questions, comments, or concerns from our audience or members of the public? The floor is now closed. I entertain a motion to pass Senate Bill 2019-003.
Move to vote on Senate Bill 2019-003.
Is there a second? All in favor, raise your right hand.
We were easily, oh, go ahead.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Alright, with that, Senate Bill 2019-003 is passed. Our next order of business will be new business. I now yield the floor to Director Burley to present Senate Bill 2019-003.
Right. So, I'm presenting Senate Bill 2019-004, my phone being on projectors, I'm gonna read it off. The sponsoring senators for this bill are Senator Carter and I, Senator Erickson. Sponsoring director is Director Crowley. So, a bill to release funding for food, refreshments, and candy for the constitutional open forum, events, and tabling. Be it enacted by the Senate or student body assembled. Section 1, short title. This act may be cited as the constitutional open forum funding bill. Section 2, sponsor of the event. The student government to give $350 to sponsor food and refreshments for the 3 open forum events and candy for tabling. And section 3, monetary. The Senate shall expend a maximum of $350 to pay for food, refreshments, and candy for the constitutional open forum events and tabling. All money not used will be returned to the Senate account. And if there's are there any questions, comments?
I just want to make a comment. So there's 3 open forum events, so it would be $100 for any of the refreshments for each of them, $50 for candy as well as
Are there any other questions, comments, or concerns from our audience or members of the board? And the floor is now closed. I now yield the floor to Director Elmore to present resolution 2019-0.
I'm sorry there's no screen, it's a little bit longer, so I'm just gonna go ahead and read it out. So these sponsoring senators are Trey King, Mark Henderson, and Sierra Sturgeon, and then the sponsoring executive board member. So the resolution is in support of the establishment of the Student Coalition for Higher Education Funding. Whereas student governments from across the state of Michigan convened for the United Student Governments of Michigan Conference at Saginaw Valley State University on November 9th, 2019. And whereas we believe a successful system of higher education institutions can only exist when the state appropriates adequate and equitable funding to colleges and universities. And whereas communication and collaboration between universities increases the chance of the Michigan state government being responsive to the needs of students at higher education institutions. And whereas creating a task force and or position within student governments committed to the state funding project would ensure continuing action on lobbying goals that incorporate the unique needs of each higher education institution. And whereas the student government of the University of Michigan-Flint agrees with the resolution that was passed at the United Student Governments Conference and recognizes the importance of advocating for higher education funding. Now therefore be it resolved that the University of Michigan-Flint, in addition to other members in attendance, demand that the state of Michigan allocate more appropriate funding to higher education institutions so that they can function without draining the limited financial resources of Michigan students. And resolve that an inter-university coalition be established and will be called the Student Coalition for Higher Education Funding. And resolve that the coalition will be made up of 1 to 2 representatives from each participating higher education institution and shall consistently meet on a monthly basis, further established by the coalition. And resolve meetings will occur in person once per academic year and monthly via an electronic platform. And resolved in adopting this resolution, delegates in attendance agree with that Director Elmore from the University of Michigan-Flint and Vice President of External Affairs Padgel from Grand Valley State University will serve as interim co-chairs of the Student Coalition for Higher Education Funding for the duration of fall 2019. And resolved starting in winter 2020, the coalition will elect a member at the beginning of each semester to serve as chair for the duration of that semester. And resolved that all ratifying higher education institutions shall create either a position or task force within their own student governing bodies that focuses on the higher education funding of the state of Michigan. And resolved that a copy of this resolution be sent to Governor Whitmer, Lieutenant Governor Gilbert, the Michigan Senate and House Appropriations Subcommittees on Higher Education. Each member of the Michigan State Legislature legislature with a public university located in their district, and the president of the public universities that are present and voting at the United Legislative Session.
Are there any questions, comments, and concerns from our audience?
Was the resolution?
Yes.
Actually, the better question is, can you make sure it's sent?
Are there any other questions, comments, and concerns from our audience and members of the board?
I just have a comment. I think having this resolution is a pretty straightforward voice from the student body as well as student government. I think asking for higher education funding should be a priority, and many of the universities have voted on this resolution, and it's definitely a step in the right direction. Hey.
Are there any other questions, comments, or concerns? I'm now open the floor for our audience and members of student government for any questions, comments, and concerns.
I'd like to thank, congratulate you worked very hard. You're right, no more things than tonight. Right, the resolution.
I actually accidentally didn't put this into my report earlier, but I would like to happily announce Senator of the Week. Senator of the Week is Senator Wong for her continued work on her caucus and for getting her ideas to come into fruition. So, good job, Dan.
Are there any other questions, comments, and concerns for members of student government?
I just want to remind the Senate and Executive, as you host events over the next month, you're required to use swipes. To swipe in at all the open forums, the anxiety presentations, making sure that you document the intent for student government as part of the process.
I just want to remind everyone, CAB is having their silent disco tomorrow in this room from 7 to 10 p.m.
I just wanted to let everybody know I had a meeting with the chancellor as the vice chancellor of student affairs, and I brought up the concerns that many students have been raising about CAPS being understaffed, and they have assured that by the end of the semester, they've already posted 2 positions, and 2 more. The CAPS staff, professional staff will be doubled, as well as they're working on a strategic plan to raise awareness for mental health, and having more university representatives on this board, because the chancellor believes that having 2 more professional staff is not just
Sir, I just wanted to remind everyone of my
person. So, what is on the basis of recommend Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. Michigan-Flint, and the other one is on November 20th from 2 to 3 p.m. in Michigan-Flint. And there will be food and drink tonight.
I'd like to encourage Senator Anderson to schedule some time.
Are there any other questions, comments, or concerns from our audience or members of the board? We'll now close for questions, comments, and concerns. Meeting adjourned at 7:50.